Hello everyone, we are going to make a do-it-yourself decimal board. In the classroom, we love using our beautiful decimal board. However, I know not everyone has one of these at home. Not everyone even has one available to them in our classroom readily if multiple people want to use it because things need to be sanitized between use. So we are going to make our own that you can keep with you in your notebook. And trust me, I thought about doing it on a blank sheet of paper, but we don't lose our trusty math notebooks. So we are going to do ours within our math notebook. In the end, it's going to look a bit like this. We're abbreviating it to focus on some of the lower whole number categories but including all of our decimal categories. It's our abbreviated approach. So materials you'll need today are your graph paper notebook opened up to a fresh page. You will need a ruler, a nice sharpened pencil, and some colored pencils. To start, let's go to the very top of our paper and make sure that our notebooks are oriented in our landscape orientation. This would be our portrait orientation. We're going to go landscape today. And we are going to draw a line following the graph paper line directly underneath the three hole punch circles. From here, I'm going to go one line down, draw another line. I'm going to go down another 2 lines. Down another 2. Draw our line. And then I'm going to draw another line 3 squares down. From here, we are going to draw our vertical lines. I'm going to count over 5. I think the last one was 5. Let's double check that. Yes, 5. So we're going to count over on our graph paper 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw another line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw another line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a line. And lastly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a line. I recognize that when drawing, everybody works at a slightly different pace. So as you're working, it might be helpful to pause and allow yourself some extra time to draw in the lines. It's also going to be helpful to have a really sharp pencil, sharper than this. That's better. Here we're going to record in our categories in the numeric value up in our very top here. So our first category we're going to do is 10. The tens, the units, the tenths, 0.1, the hundredths, thousandths, ten thousandths, hundred thousandths, and millionths. Now, it's going to be really helpful to get out our black colored pencil right now, and we're going to make a thick, bold line, just like on our Montessori decimal board, a thick, bolder line where our decimal point belongs. I'm going to use my ruler, trace over it a couple times. Also going to draw a circle around my unit. It's an important one to remember. Underneath where we have our decimal and numeric value, I'm going to rewrite this in decimal fraction form. So this 10 could be represented by 10 over 1. 1 represented by 1 over 1. 1/10, 1 over 10. 1/100th, 1,000th, 1/10,000th, 100,000th, and 1,000,000th. It's also going to be helpful for some of us to include this third row right here where we write the numeric value as we would say it, as we would read it in words. So this is 10. This is 1, or the units. Those are synonymous. Here we have the tenths, the hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths, and millionths. And in this final row right here, we're going to use our color coding system. In Montessori, we know that red stands for 100, so that would have been right here. Our next color is our blue for our tens. Green for our units. Now, if we're going for our tenths, it's a lighter blue. So what I like to do here, I still use my blue colored pencil. I just shade it in a little bit lighter. So this is our tens, this is our tenths. For hundredths, I again use my red colored pencil. Oh, that's mahogany. Red colored pencil. And I just shade it in lighter than the red, the full-on red. Next we have our thousandths. I'm going to use my green and I'm going to shade it in a little bit lighter so it's not as dark as my unit. This is important because the lighter the color is, the smaller the value it represents. Our 10,000ths, this is where we get into our actual sky blue or light blue. Then our 100,000ths, I use pink. And our millionths, yellow green or a light green. If you want, you can shade in a color around the border. If you want to allude to our yellow board here, you could add some yellow around the border here, but that's just extra here. So this should help get you through some material work with our decimals. We're going to practice some exchanging work with this before we get into any operations. But even though it doesn't go all the way up to millions on the other side of the decimal point, this is still enough to get across the idea and get us some good practice. Have fun.